Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Did you know YouTube only keeps selective videos on its platform? So if you want to make sure you get the full picture, just subscribe to our newsletter. Go to newsletter.ntd.com and sign up. It's free.
A federal judge has blocked the Biden administration's vaccine mandate for health workers in 10 states. The temporary pause applies to workers at Medicare and Medicaid-certified facilities. The agency says it affects 17 million health workers at 76,000 facilities. The 10 states had sued the administration, saying the mandate is unconstitutional. The judge said the mandate would impose a burden on healthcare at facilities and make it harder for them to do their jobs and save lives. The White House has praised its vaccine mandates as effective. Last week, it said its mandate on federal workers achieved 96.5% compliance. And now to China's virus situation. Chinese authorities are stepping up virus control measures in parts of northern China. Health workers tested over 170,000 city residents in a single day. This as a new virus outbreak hits. NTD's Don Ma has more.
Parts of northern China are seeing a surge in new virus cases. China's National Health Commission said Monday that nearly half of the total cases in the country were found in Inner Mongolia. And by the looks of it, local authorities aren't going easy on virus prevention and control measures. In the city of Manzhouli, Inner Mongolia, local authorities are all but locking down the city. Residents are prohibited from leaving the city. Public transportation has been suspended. Trains and flights are being canceled. Hospitals and clinics are closed for all non-urgent services. And schools, local businesses, and entertainment venues are all closed as well. A local in one of the city's districts told the Epoch Times that any business owner that opens their doors right now will have their business license revoked. On top of lockdown measures, authorities are also holding multiple rounds of public virus testing. The city is home to around 150,000 residents, and amid freezing temperatures, many have been spotted in waiting lines to get tested, sometimes stretching hundreds of feet long. Another local tells NTD she's not allowed to leave her home. We distorted her voice to protect her identity.
The first wave of nucleic acid testing was done yesterday, and the community was locked down. And then the second wave of nucleic acid testing was done. Dongshan community has been designated as a high-risk area. We're not allowed to go outside now. Wherever you look in Manzhouli, there are basically no cars anywhere.
According to reports, the first round of testing started Sunday morning, while the second round started Monday. More than 175,000 virus tests have been administered as of Monday morning. Don Ma, NTD News.
And Jack Dorsey is stepping down as Twitter CEO, effective immediately. The company's current chief technology officer is taking over the job. Twitter's shares closed with a dip of 2.7%. NTD's Allison Lee brings us more.
Jack Dorsey announced in an email posted on Twitter on Monday that it's his own decision to step down. He says he believes a company should be able to stand on its own, free of its founder's influence or direction. Dorsey co-founded Twitter in 2006. He wrote in the email, "There aren't many founders that choose their company over their own ego. I know we'll prove this was the right move." Dorsey will stay on the board of directors until his term ends around May next year. After that, he will also leave the board. The board unanimously appointed the current chief technology officer, Parag Agarwal, as the new CEO. Dorsey backs the decision, saying he's been my choice for some time given how deeply he understands the company and its needs. Twitter will also have a new chairman of the board, Brett Taylor. Dorsey is also happy with the decision, writing that, "Having Brett in this leadership role gives me a lot of confidence in the strength of our board going forward." Dorsey has been Twitter's CEO from 2006 to 2008 and then again from 2015. Under him, Twitter posted its first billion-dollar quarter and began releasing new features to draw in users. Dorsey is also the CEO of his payment company Square. His net worth is around $12 billion. Allison Lee, NTD News.
The trial of Ghislaine Maxwell began with jury selection. Maxwell is accused of recruiting and grooming underage girls for the late Jeffrey Epstein to abuse. NTD's Jason Perry has the story.
Ghislaine Maxwell, who is a former employee of and former romantic partner of Jeffrey Epstein, has been in prison since the FBI arrested her in July 2020. Epstein, a convicted pedophile, died of an apparent suicide in a Manhattan jail while he was awaiting trial for sex abuse allegations. His longtime acquaintance, Maxwell, is now accused of grooming and recruiting underage girls for Epstein to abuse. In opening statements, prosecutors accused Maxwell of preying upon vulnerable girls and manipulating them to be abused by Epstein. In a 2021 indictment, prosecutors are saying Maxwell used to gain girls' trust by taking them to movies, buying them gifts such as lingerie, and discussing sexual topics. She is now facing 8 charges of sex trafficking, and she pleaded not guilty to all counts. Her attorneys say that prosecutors are using Maxwell as a scapegoat because they were unable to convict Epstein. Now, Maxwell is 59 years old, and if she's convicted on all counts, she would face up to 80 years in prison. And this trial is expected to last 6 weeks. Jason Perry, NTD News, New York.
The premiere of NTD Television's very first original drama series is just under a week away. NTD's Grace Coulter sits down with the cast and crew to find out more about the show.
NTD Television is launching its first ever original drama series. The 10-episode series called A Good Cop is inspired by true events. It follows the lives of 3 NYPD officers during the Defund the Police movement. But this show is about more than just policing. I sat down with the cast and crew members to find out more.
New York will descend into the anarchy of the 70s if we're not careful. The last thing we need is to defund the police.
My name is Calif, and I'm playing Captain Frankie Romano in this TV series, A Good Cop.
I am Taylor Corrin. I play Elizabeth Fox. Elizabeth Fox is an abolitionist turned rookie cop, which creates a really cool dichotomy.
I think you'd make a good cop.
No, I would not.
I just applied to join the NYPD.
This is betrayal.
My name is Ignacio Matinya, and I play the character Jalen Daniels on the television series A Good Cop. Jalen is a straight-edge, honest guy that can't be bought. He's a police officer with integrity, with a strong moral compass, and throughout the series, the foundations for all of his beliefs that make him that great trophy cop are tested.
So without going into any spoilers, could you tell us a bit more about the plot and what the viewers can expect from it?
So A Good Cop, we're going to delve into corruption. Corruption is going to be a big part of it. Themes of police have all this authority. Who watches the police? Who polices the police is one of the themes running through the show. And various levels of hierarchy of the government and how the police interact with it, how civilians interact with it, and what happens when, or if, people in power start to abuse that power. What are the checks that are there to control that?
Say you come across hard evidence that would be catastrophic to some really powerful people, and now they're threatening you. What would you do? I make a discovery that is so incredible, it's so outlandish that, I mean, it affects emotionally the police that are working on it. And they become very motivated because of the content of this discovery to do things that and go places that they wouldn't ordinarily go.
So what sort of themes and values can viewers expect to see when watching this series?
A Good Cop explores the themes of right and wrong, justice. It really tries to not tell you what to think about it, but have these characters that are part of the storyline go through different situations that test them and make them have to make difficult decisions. And that's really how you discover what is a good cop or a good person, is what kind of choices do they make when they're tested.
A good cop is actually a question mark. It's not an exclamation point. It's not like a yes, we did it. It's what does that mean? What does that mean to you? Does that feel like a fantasy? Do you feel protected? And how do you feel watching something like this? It's a conversation starter.
I think A Good Cop will force people to step outside of their comfort zone and test out a point of view that they're not used to necessarily believing in. You know, like I always say, there's three sides of a story. There's your side, there's my side, and then somewhere in the middle there's the truth. And I think what this show does is we try to step inside that middle area and find the truth and present it to the audience in a way where they can really understand and resonate with the characters.
Anything to say about firearms there, Miss Corruption?
No.
The first episode of A Good Cop airs on Sunday, the 5th of December at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to tune in.
Another high-profile trial is now underway in Chicago. Prosecutors are accusing actor Jussie Smollett of lying to the police about being the victim of a hate crime. Here are the details.
Two brothers stand at the center of the Jussie Smollett trial. Smollett allegedly paid them $3,500 to pose as his attackers in a hate crime. The siblings, both of whom are from Nigeria, will take the witness stand. They're expected to repeat what they have told police officers and prosecutors, that they carried out the attack at Smollett's behest. They had previously worked with Smollett on the TV show Empire. Back in January 2019, Smollett reported he was attacked by two men who yelled anti-gay and racist remarks. They also put a noose around his neck and poured bleach on him. Authorities later accused the actor of staging the attack to boost his career. The $3,500 check could be the key. The brothers say that was their fee to carry out the fake attack. But Smollett says he wrote the check to pay one of them to work as his personal trainer. Smollett faces a maximum of 3 years behind bars. Judge James Lynn says he expects the trial to take about a week.
A security guard died from wounds he suffered while trying to protect a news crew in California. Here's NTD's Eileen Ang with more details.
Kevin Nishida, a security guard for San Francisco's KRON 4 News, died from his wounds on Saturday morning. The former police officer's casket was wheeled out of the hospital to the Alameda County Coroner's Office in California. On Wednesday, somebody tried stealing the news crew's camera equipment as they were covering a robbery in Oakland. As Nishida was helping the crew, he was shot in the lower abdomen and rushed to the hospital. The reporter was not struck.
Kevin was truly one of the best sergeants I ever had, or that I personally worked with. He was much more than that. He was a true friend and, part of our Colma Police Department family. He was kind, he was caring, he was compassionate, and more importantly, he was very honorary.
In a statement, KRON 4's vice president and general manager said that the station was devastated by the loss. A surveillance photo was released Saturday of a vehicle they suspect was involved in the robbery and shooting. It shows a white Acura TL with 4 doors, a sunroof, and no license plate, which is a model from between 2004 to 2008. There is a $32,500 reward for information that leads to an arrest or arrests in the case. The Oakland Police Department has announced additional staffing to combat crime, including armed caravans, illegal sideshows, and other violent crimes. Eileen Ang, NTD News, California.
People are getting ready to deck the halls with boughs of holly and sing Yuletide carols as the Christmas season approaches. NTD's Cynthia Kai spoke with some California locals at a Bay Area Christmas parade to hear how they're celebrating.
Christmas is coming up, and across the California Bay Area, people are kicking off the celebrations with a parade, music, and of course, lots of colorful lights. The Niles Festival of Lights Parade is held annually to kick off the Christmas season in Fremont, California. The parade spans 4 blocks, but features a number of unique floats, marching bands, costumed characters, and Santa Claus.
Well, it's wonderful to have it back this year. We didn't have it last year, and as you can see, most of the people here we know, but they all have connections with everything in Fremont. It's a huge, loving community.
The parade began in 2001 and has become a tradition for the Fremont residents. Niles was established in the 1950s, serving as a junction point for the Southern Pacific Railroad lines from Oakland to San Jose and other southern coastal points. Many people watching the parade had friends or relatives performing in the parade.
Actually, I have a friend that will be coming in on a vehicle, an old vehicle, and him and his dog will be out there. So he's ridden in the parade for quite a few years, and I'm looking forward to seeing him.
So my daughter actually, she grew up doing the parades. So the first time she was in the parade, she was actually, I guess, about 10 years old. Now she's in high school, so she's actually performing today as well.
Locals say the parade captures the historic character and family atmosphere of the area. Many parade goers were glad to see the community come together to celebrate.
Seeing everyone come together, everyone's smiling, everyone's having a good time, and just, it's, after all this pandemic stuff going on, it's been madness, but this is a sign for hope in the future.
It's very, very friendly, and I see lots and lots of people enjoying itself, and there is no hustle and bustle. You can see, although it's so crowded, yet it's so fun. So it's our very own Disneyland in our backyard.
Local residents say they watch the parade every year and that it has become a tradition for them. Cynthia Kai, NTD News, California.
Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to catch all of our programs on TV. NTD Evening News is on every weekday at 6:30 p.m. Find your local NTD channel at ntd.com/TV.